said my brothers and I were all too feminine. That our luxurious lifestyles turned us into homosexuals. I don't have to worry about that anymore, because guess what I get tons of?
You wanna say, I won't go back. If you wanna hit the road, then let's go then. Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine. Golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Got the devil in your eyes. You went and took me by surprise. Say what you wanna say, I won't go back. If you wanna hit the road, then let's go then. Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Got the devil in your eyes. You went and took me by surprise. Say what you wanna say, I won't go back. If you wanna hit the road, then let's go then. Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Got the devil in your eyes. You went and took me by surprise. Say what you wanna say, I won't go back. If you wanna hit the road, then let's go then. Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Got the devil in your eyes. You went and took me by surprise. Say what you wanna say, I won't go back. If you wanna hit the road, then let's go then. Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they just fall off. But I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. Oh, what do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore. She call off, man, I look into my nephew's eyes. Man, you wouldn't believe the most amazing things that can come from some terrible lie.
It's just me, myself and I ain't fucking with them other guys. It's just me, myself and I. These people faking, man, that's no surprise. I be on the road, man, I be all alone, man. I've been feeling low, man, so I'ma smoke a bowl, man. I be on the road, man, I be all alone, man. I've been feeling low, man, so I'ma smoke a bowl, man. Let me get it right now when I come through. Got a lot of prawns, got a lot of pills too. Looking for the recipe, hoping for the better me. Should I listen to my ex-girl every time she said to me that life is just more than just chasing the bread? If brains be the secret, then give me some head. Lost that shit over the stupidest things, like the smallest of problems and thinking it brings. I'm laughing a lot, but ain't what it seems. Maybe it's just cause of all of the weed. Maybe cause people be playing too much. So honestly, they are just jokes to me. Look at me now, in need of a break. I'm trying to feel good, what does it take? No move for the pics, get the fuck out my face. On the road, man, I be all alone, man. I've been feeling low, man, so I'ma smoke a bowl, man. I be on the road, man, I be all alone, man. I've been feeling low, man, so I'ma smoke a bowl, man. I be on the road, man, I be all alone, man. You know, sometimes, you know, we just feel lost and confused. You just feel like we don't belong anywhere, and that shit can feel like forever. I be on the road, man, I be all alone, man. I've been feeling low, man, so I'ma smoke a bowl, man. I be on the road, man, I be all alone, man. I've been feeling low, man, so I'ma smoke a bowl, man.
Closer, but still keep your distance. I've been thinking it over and I'm terrified. Are you still afraid that maybe something's missing? I want you to be honest, are you scared of heights? 'Cause we might fall, we might fall. You say it in the spaces of our conversation, and you don't even know how well I read your mind. So what's it gonna take, and will your desperation find a little comfort in mine, in my heart?
Yeah, I'd rather be a lover than a fighter. Cause all my life I've been fighting. Never felt a feeling of comfort. All this time I've been hiding. And I never had someone to come on. Oh, nah, I'm so used to shit. Love only left me alone. But I'm at one with the silence. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been quiet for too long. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been silent for too long. I've been quiet for too long. I've been quiet for too long. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been quiet for too long. I'm in need of a savior, but I'm not asking for favors. My whole life I feel like a burden. I think too much and I hate it. I'm so used to being in the wrong. I'm tired of caring. Loving never gave me a home. So I sit here in the silence. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been quiet for too long. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been silent for too long. I've been quiet for too long. I've been quiet for too long. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's
I am, but still you want me. Stress lines and cigarettes, politics and deficits, late bills and overages, screaming and hollering, but still you want me. Always let you down. You're shattered on the ground, still I find you there next to me. And stupid things I do, I'm far from good, it's true. Still I find you next to me. There's something about the way that you always see the pretty view, overlook the mud and mess, always looking effortless, and still you want me. I got no innocence, faith ain't no privilege. I am a deck of cards, vice or a game of hearts, and still you want me. Always let you down. You're shattered on the ground, still I find you there next to me. And stupid things I do, I'm far from good, it's true. Still I find you next to me. So thank you for taking a chance on me. I know it isn't easy, but I hope to be worth it. So thank you for taking a chance on me. I know it isn't easy, but I hope to be worth it. Always let you down. You're shattered on the ground, still I find you there next to me. And stupid things I do, I'm far from good, it's true. Still I find you next to me.
Walking out into the dark, cutting out a different path, led by a beating heart. All the people of the town cast their eyes right to the ground in matters of the heart. The night was all you had. You ran into the night from all you had. Found yourself apart upon the ground. You ran into the night, you can't be found. But this is your heart. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Bounce through your veins. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Summer evening breezes blue, drawing voices deep from you, led by a beating heart. come down at all. If you had your gun, would you shoot it at the sky wide to see where your bullet would fall? Or will you come down and oh, this is hard. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I'm still your veins. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? This is racing hard. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I'm still your veins. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Oh, 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 oh.
Do you feel the same when I'm away from you? Do you know the line that I'd walk for you? We could turn around or we could give it up, but we'll take what comes, take what comes. Oh, the storm is raging against us now. If you're afraid of falling, then don't look down. But we took the step, but we took the leap, and we'll take what comes, take what comes. Feel the wind in your hair, feel the rush way up here. We're walking the wire, love. We're walking the wire, love. We couldn't be higher. Up, we're walking the wire, wire, wire. There's nights we had to just walk away, and there's tears we cry, but those tears will fade. It's a price to pay when it comes to love, and we'll take what comes, take what comes. Feel the wind in your hair, feel the rush way up here. We're walking the wire, love. We're walking the wire, love. We couldn't be higher. Up, we're walking the wire, wire, wire. So look out down below. Look out down below. Look out down below. Walking the wire, wire, wire. So look out down below. Oh, I'll take your hand when thunder roars, and I hold you close, I'll stay the course. I promise you from up above that we'll take what comes, take what comes, love. We're walking the wire, love. We're walking the wire, love. We couldn't be higher, up. We're walking the wire, wire, wire. So look out down below. companion. People feel it everywhere. Lift your hands and voices, free your mind and join us. You can feel it in the air. Oh, it's a passion. Oh, you can feel it here. Oh, it's a passion. Oh, this is the rhythm. You can put some joy upon my face. Oh, sunshine in an empty place. Take me to turn two, and babe, I'll make you stay. Oh, I can ease you of your pain. Feel you give me love again. Round and round we go, each time I hear you say, this is the rhythm of the night.
shore, and the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Great clouds roll over the hills, bringing darkness from above. But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like you've been here before? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? We were caught up and lost in all of our vices. In your poses, the dust settled around us, and the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Great clouds roll over the hills, bringing darkness from above. But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like you've been here before? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? How am I gonna be an optimist about this if you close your eyes? So, the chorusy bit where everyone goes, uh-oh.
That's the thing. When everyone joins in, they join in with you.
I know. That's the problem.
He's fine. Like, happens just to him.
Yeah. So, just to spell it out, for the last chorus, we're wicked if everyone, you know.
What we do, not do.
Yeah, copy them, not me. Alright. Never done the talky bit in the middle of a song before. It feels well cheesy. It's like a montage, yeah.
Next week's show we
These chords just really roll, don't they? Bad, okay. Right. Sorry, once more. I know. Then everyone just walks off.
We're waiting for you guys.
I was gonna do it then, dude. Oh, where do we begin? The rubble or our sins? Oh, where do we begin? The rubble or our sins? And the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Great clouds roll over the hills, bringing darkness from above.
makes you feel like you're 3 foot tall. When it's just you, well, times can be tough. When there's no one there to catch or fall. 3 foot tall. Like you're 3 foot tall. 3 foot tall. When there's no one there to
Stress out, waking up, it's time to get it. Ain't no room for the haters, ain't got time for jealousy. I'm too focused on the music, the money, and where I'm headed. If it rain on my parade, I'ma get an umbrella. Fuck all they damn opinions. Never really been the one to listen. Ain't no one else in the world on my vision. Still I went the distance and stay driven. Gotta go for it, do or die. Can't slow down, I feel too alive. I'ma chase my dreams, fuck the suicide. If you walked in my shoes, you would lose your mind. Got the blood of a champion in my veins. I ain't following nobody, I'm in my own lane. Live a day in my life, come and feel my pain. I'm balling out like LeBron and Dwayne in overtime. All my life, turn it up into overdrive. Gotta live your life with an open mind. Blood, sweat, tears got me so alive. Pull up with a bad one in a passer. Jerk side with an ass, got a fat one. Used to never get money, your hoes back then. Now I get both, whenever I get a chance to. Wait to focus on the money, turn a vision to it. Embrace the struggle and you gotta get through it. Never give up, boy, you gotta keep moving. Don't worry about me and what I'm doing. If anyone listening got a dream, better go for it. If you think about giving up, better hold on. I've been on my grind, hustling for so long. Pull up, good vibes, someone roll one.
When you're alone, life can be a little rough. It makes you feel like you're 3 foot tall. When it's just you, well, times can be tough. When there's no one there to catch or fall. 3 foot tall. Like you're 3 foot tall. 3 foot tall.
Yeah. Waking up with the same routine, hoping and praying for sunshine. The plan that don't work out as A through Z. Looking at rappers, it's lunchtime. Sick of the drugs and the groupies. Hustling hard, boy, it's crunch time. Praying to God he don't lose me. Shout to my family one time. Putting my thoughts on a loose sleeve, on the Bruce Lee of this rap shit. Sometimes this life will get lonely and cold, so go make sure that you bring a jacket. Putting my heart and my soul in this music, I can't wait too far to turn back, bitch. People all told me that I wouldn't make it, now they the ones saying congrats, kid. Used to keep money that I made from hustling right there up under my mattress. Now I ain't tripping, don't worry about slipping, I got an account for that shit. Stood on my own 2 feet, nothing was handed to me. Every day I would practice, struggling every day, trying to find myself in this world that's full of madness. Stressed out, working hard, going through some shit, put my trust in God. Everybody telling me that I should stop, but my middle finger's up, screaming fuck them all. Every single day in my life I'm putting up a fight, trying to figure my rights from wrong. Hella shit on my mind, no time for the bullshit, boy, I gotta work hard.
When you're alone, life can be a little rough. It makes you feel like you're 3 foot tall. When it's just you, well, times can be tough. When there's no one there to catch or fall. 3 foot tall. Like you're 3 foot tall. 3 foot tall. Catch or fall. When you're alone, life can be a little rough. It makes you feel like you're 3 foot tall. When it's just you, well, times can be tough.
If you give it a name, then it's already won. What you good for? What you good for? If you give it a name, then it's already won. What you good for? What you good for? If you give it a name, then it's already won. What you good for? What you good for? If you give it a name, then it's already won. What you good for? What you good for? 'Cause it is not enough to be done strong. Can you feel the silence? You must have the words in that head of yours. Oh, oh, can you feel the silence? I can't take it anymore. 'Cause it is not enough to be done strong.
Hey you, can I learn your flavor? It's brand new. Now it's in the papers, all I seem to see. Must be something underneath. Take two. I'm still trying to figure out what makes you hard on the call. I guess it comes from your heart, 'cause when your head's right, you take your time. There's something about the love of things you like. Fire when the strobe hits. Bet you're looking for something new.
Gentlemen, we're burning sunshine here.
It's active!
Sergeant. Lieutenant? Take care of those elites. He's mine. Let's go.
Like the rest of your race, weak and undisciplined. There will be no female to save you this time.
Look me in the eye and say that.
As you wish. My face will be the last thing your pathetic eyes ever see.
And for the record, I would have kicked your ass the first time.
Like if
We'll
you
do it
put
at your
a-
house this
if
time.
you
Yeah.
put a gun on a Roomba and just set it going downtown somewhere,
Yeah.
and you could just manually fire it, you're firing the gun, right?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah.
This sounds like the worst game of Russian roulette ever.
I mean,
You
it doesn't
can
sound like
find
Russian
dirt,
roulette
it's just
at
spinning
all.
around.
You're at home.
fucking shooting a Roomba.
How would they trace that to you?
It's a gun. If it was registered to you, someone would walk up to it after all the bullets are gone, pick it up, and say, "Hey, we should check who bought this."
Let me tell you. Let me regale. Let me wax poetic. A little story about starting Rooster Teeth. So April 1st, 2003. Started Rooster Teeth.
Right.
That was it.
Damn.
Yeah.
How many everyday objects have you injured him severely?
Quite a few.
There's ping pong ball, now rubber
Dude,
band.
we were in line for a party at VidCon, and I shoved a Sharpie so far up his asshole, I had to take it out.
Yeah, because usually
he was on the ground in front of 200 people, and this girl leans over to me and goes, "Are you gay?" I said, "I don't know, maybe." And she goes, "All right." This is weird.
I had an annoying bastard sat next to me on my flight yesterday.
What happened? Why was he an annoying bastard?
Was he English or American?
I think he was German.
You have bad luck with Germans.
But on the plane, it's like 3, 3, and 3, and I was on the aisle middle, and no one sat in the middle seat. So there was me, no one, and this guy.
Okay.
And I was like listening to my headphones. They're like noise cancelling, so I can't hear anything. I don't know if he was yelling at me, but eventually he like starts thumping on my arm. I was like, "Oh God, what?" He was like, "Is anyone sat here?" And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, "Hopefully not." And I was like, "All right."
Yeah.
Went back to it. Then 10 minutes later, we'd already taken off at this point. He's like thumping on my arm again. I was like, "Oh my God, this guy. What's up?" And he's like, "Low battery on your headphones. His beat is flashing." And I was like, "Thanks. I'll know when the headphones turn off. Thanks." Oh my God. And then he loudly starts like blowing his nose into some tissues. I was like,
you can hear it through the noise.
Yeah, I was like,
canceling headphones.
Then a flight attendant comes by, starts clearing away drink cups. I pick up my cup to give to the flight attendant. He leans over me, stuffs his gammy tissue into my cup.
Oh,
like,
why?
I was like,
while it's in your hand?
Yeah, I was like, gross! Do it on your side
Did
with
he
your
say-
flight attendant.
Remember when
don't
we
get it
saw
very often.
Chris strike out with those girls
Oh,
at
did
that
he?
bar?
Did he whiff one?
Oh, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Michael and I watched it for half an hour.
Wait, did he take a swing at 2 girls at one time?
It was like they were in a
Group of
group.
girls.
Well, it was like we had a conversation with Chris.
I didn't know. I said, what do you do at the company? And he goes, and I go, no, seriously, what do you?
Just
I
like,
don't
what
know.
do you do?
What do you actually
What
do?
do
I
you
don't
do?
know. And he's
Tell
like,
me.
and he couldn't tell me. He's like, and he
It's
ran
like,
off.
and then
To his work.
he walked over, but it was like one of those things where Jeff and I both noticed Chris like doing something. We're like, oh, look at that. And then we watched it unfold as we were looking at him across the bar, and we were like, oh no, oh no, oh. It's like the people they're talking to him, and he's talking to them, and they're just like this.
There was a lot of this. There's a lot of Chris going like this.
Physical.
Here, I'm gonna be Chris for a second. I'm gonna be like. For like
Beautiful. Like I'm not talking Chris or anything, but those girls were pretty far out of his league.
In that they were girls and they were breathing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, let's talk about awesome things we did.
Okay.
All right. In our Have You Ever segment, have you ever been kicked out of a bar, club, etc.?
Never been kicked out of a place. I was refused entry though, as a minor. Now, I was a good boy. I did not partake of the drink when I was in high school. I was like, nay, I shall not be tempted, Satan. I'm not gonna do that. But when I got to college though, you know, parties happen,
Stuff
right?
happens, yeah.
But I refused to get a fake ID. I was like, I don't wanna. Also,
I'm a good boy.
I'm a good boy.
They're also expensive.
Also, I was just scared of being like thrown in jail or some shit. I was like, it'll go on my permanent life record. But the universe had different plans for me because one night walking home, we found a wallet in the middle of the street. Somebody had already taken all the cards, all the money out of it, but there was an ID. This motherfucker looked just like Miles Luna.
Holy
So all my friends were like, this is a legal Texas ID. And
The gods have blessed
your
you.
name is Andrew now. And I was like, oh. And they're like, oh, this is perfect. What's her face's birthday's coming up this weekend. She was gonna go to Dirty Six. Yeah, bro, we're gonna rage. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm already nervous. I don't wanna be downtown. I don't wanna use this fake ID. We went to some bar and I had the fake ID and I gave it to the gentleman at the door. And he looked at it and he looked at me and he looked at it and he looked at me and he went, this isn't you. And I went, nope, and I grabbed it and ran. I just ran into the night. I just ran into the night, and like half an hour later, like caught up with my friends. I was like, I can't go, man. They know. He probably told the other bars. They have a thing. They're all connected, man. The man. They know. But yeah, that was a good night. Just kidding. It sucked.
Speaking of horrifying, I went downtown this weekend.
Downtown's already horrifying.
We're out in this place. It was one of those places where the bar itself was quite small, but the outdoor bit was massive. Loads of people, and one of those porta potties in the back. So I spotted it, and I was like, yeah, I'll go and take a nice leak. The door didn't lock, but there was a line for the bog, so everyone sort of knew that it didn't lock. Yeah, so I was in line. There were like 3 or 4 people ahead of me. Slowly got to the front, went in, whipped out my John Thomas, started going. I was like, I'm not worried about the door. People just watch me walk in. I've been peeing for about 2 seconds. Someone just barges in, flings the door open, stands next to me. I'm like,
how do you stand next to someone in a porta potty?
Very uncomfortably close.
Huh.
So I'm there sort of like, what are you doing, dude? I'm peeing here. And he was like, I gotta do this in here. There's too many people around. I just gotta do this in here. Whips out this little thing of cocaine, does a line of coke.
Off your dick?
Nope.
Oh.
But within drip distance of little coke nugs could have landed on my penis. And I'm like, oh my God. I don't even know where to start. Like, just livid at this guy. It's like, I wrap up my piss. I went out, and then he followed me out, started talking to me, realized I was British, and was like, oh, British, huh? That means you're not circumcised. It comes up in the story, he's a gay man, and he was like, you know, I've never sucked off an uncircumcised penis. You want to head back in there, and I'll blow you? And I was like, this has gone from 0 to 100 so fast.
That's what coke does, man.
And
Let me ask you this question. If you say yes, so I don't want to take away from your story. Let's assume Gavin says yes to this, and he wants to get blown by the guy in the porta potty. Do they have to wait in the line again, or can they go to the front and say, "You guys just saw us. We were just in there."
And now we both need to go back in. I left my phone in there. And in my head, I'm like so blown away by the whole experience.
Literally.
Yep.
And I don't want to be rude to the guy.
Why would you want to be rude?
So the way I phrased it was so weird. I was like, you know, I'm not into that at this point in my life, but, you know, maybe one day I'd be into that, like trying to make excuses.
Did you really?
As to why I didn't want him
You were so British. That one moment, you're so British.
You don't
I
want to
could
be
have been like,
offensive,
no,
right?
I'm not gay.
Right.
But instead, I was like, I'm not quite ready. But, you know, if you see me around in like 10 years, ask me again.
Did you really tell him that? You took a rain check on a porta potty blowjob.
In 10 years' time, let's meet back at this porta potty.
Look, I don't know how I'm going to be
If you
feeling
still
in a
haven't
decade.
blown anyone, and I still haven't gotten blown, we'll make a pact that in 10 years, we can blow each other.
Well, there was this one time though where my friend had a crush on this girl, and he was like, "We should ding dong ditch her," and I was like, "Ugh, "Fuck yeah!" So we were like late high school, so we drive out to her neighborhood, we spot out her house, we park his car like 3 blocks down, we're like planning it all out and stuff like that. We ding dong ditch, we run away, and we sit in some bushes
Like
across
that?
the street, and we're like. Her dad comes out, we're like, oh shit, you know, like doing that whole thing.
Sure.
Wait, you know, like 5 minutes. The window curtain like goes away. And it's like, all right, he's no longer watching. So we run across and we do it again. Ding dong, we're like ah! And so like we run instead of going back to that spot. We just ran back to his car. So we're sitting in his car and we're like, oh man, that was great. Oh shit. Duck, 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 duck. Someone was knocking on his window with a bat. We look over and it was the fucking dad, and he was
What?
like, my wife is a nurse. She has to get up at 5 a.m. every morning, and you fucking kids are ringing my goddamn doorbell. And we're just like, eyes are saucers.
Wow.
It was
He's
the
right, though.
scariest fucking thing. I ended up like really being good friends with that girl, and I helped them move out of their house because I felt so bad about it.
Aw.
On the way back, I flew from Monterey to Houston Austin. And you guys know there was, I guess, a lot of bad weather over the weekend here in Austin, lots of rain.
Yeah.
So when I was flying from Houston to Austin, normally it's like a 45-minute flight, probably even less, but it took like an hour and a half because I had to fly around all the weather. And I could tell, like, we're getting ready to start our descent. I was like, okay, I need to run. I'm going to take a piss. And then, like, right before I get up to go to the bathroom, this woman gets up and goes to the bathroom. I'm like, all right, I'll wait till she's done. And she must have been taking a dump or something because I'm sitting there forever. And then finally she gets out, like, okay, I'm gonna run back there and take a piss. So I run back. The seatbelt sign is on at this point. You know, we're beginning our descent. I unzip my pants. The second piss starts coming out of my dick, turbulence. And it's like a fire hose that you can't control. So I'm like trying to aim piss into the toilet while the plane's doing this. So I drenched that bathroom. And I was trying to get out, but the turbulence was so bad I couldn't open the door.
Jesus!
Because it was like I would try to push it, but then I would get like thrown back, so I couldn't.
So were
move
you like
forward.
coming bouncing off the ground and stuff?
Yes, it was
Did it
very
hurt?
rough. It was very rough. Eventually, I managed to shove my way out of the door, and I come out into the galley, and the flight attendant is literally sitting on the ground.
Wow.
She's like sitting on the ground, bracing herself with the cart. She looks at me and she goes, "You better sit on the ground too." So I had to sit on the ground with the flight attendant in the galley to wait for the turbulence
on,
to
like,
subside a bit. She was
Prince.
like, "Okay, run to your seat."
Take a shit.
So
in
I
that.
have a question. When you guys use a urinal, do you keep a hand on your dick, or do you just like let it flop around?
What is it? I have to hold it.
When I was at the hotel in Australia, when I first landed, I went up to use the urinal, and I was standing there pissing, holding my dick like a civilized man. And this person walks up to the urinal next to me, whips his dick out, starts peeing, and as he's pissing, reaches into his pocket, pulls out his phone, and starts texting with his dick just like flopping around, pissing. I'm like, what the fuck is this
Not
animal?
happening.
So that
And then like his friend walks in, and then he's like talking over his shoulder at his friend, like texting still at the same time. I'm like, what is this?
There's been
And
times
then he's
where
like, "Why are you texting me, bro? I'm right next to you."
Halloween costumes are fun though. Like,
that being said, you don't want to go like too over the top with like makeup or whatever, because I did go one year. It was the first year that I had like 6-pack abs, and I was like, I'm gonna paint myself green. I'm gonna be the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, I saw that
It's the
picture of you on
fucking
Facebook.
worst Halloween of my life, because like for once in my goddamn life, I was attractive, and all the girls were like, "Oh, Blaine, he's a person now."
Jesus Christ!
I couldn't fucking dance with anybody. I basically stood in a corner. People would come up for a hug, and I was like, "No, I'm gonna paint you green."
All the girls were like, "He's angry. You wouldn't like him, but he's angry."
But it sucked because like I couldn't make I couldn't interact with humans because I was just fucking green.
Nobody could love me.
But the girl's house she hosted it at, she was like, "I've been finding so much fucking green paint in my house," and I was like, "I'm so sorry."
In high school, I might have told this story before. I don't know. Me and this girl, we were like driving around.
Aaron and I have this old guy
That's it.
in our apartment, and he has like a back problem, so he's always like hunched over.
He's at like a 90-degree angle.
Yeah. And we're pretty sure, Aaron and I are sure that he's like a ghost haunting our apartment complex, because he fucking pops out of nowhere and he's like, "Do you have the time?" And you're like, "No!"
So this old guy loves swimming in the pool.
Wouldn't he drown if he was leant over forward? You just hit
Walks
someone
back and
bubbling
forth.
like.
So like when you go to Aaron's apartment, you could see people coming out of the pool when you're going in the front door. And so I saw him coming out of the pool, so I kind of like waited to open the door for a bit because I wanted him to pass by. I didn't want to have to talk to him. And so I saw him pass by and I thought he left. And so I opened the door and I went into the elevator and he's like, "Hold the door." And I'm like, "Fuck." And he gets in. He's wearing a bathing suit, but it's hiked up into his ball sack. So I could basically see his entire like upper thigh and like maybe a hint of a penis popping out there.
Scrote.
And he's just like dripping all over the elevator floor. And it's like, it's not a very long elevator ride. So I like press the button, he presses his button, and he goes, "Well, going up." And then about
Aw, he sounds like such a sweet
and then
old
about
dude.
5 seconds later he goes, "Almost there."
Okay, you want to know the worst thing that can happen to a man ever?
Okay.
So I've had some issues, and boy, when you get old, it's fun. So I had to have a scoping of my bladder. That's when they take a camera and they put it into your bladder.
How did they get it there?
Oh, Blaine, how did they get the camera in there? If you ask me, I'd rather they just stab me in my heart and then inject it through that, but that's not how they do it, apparently. How they do it is you go into the room, and there are these things hanging from the wall that are the most horrible things you've ever seen in your life. And then there's a chair, and then you sit down in the chair, and then a guy comes in the room, he goes, "All right, you have to take your pants off now, or the blanket." And you go, oh, okay. And he's like, are you allergic to iodine? And I'm like, well, I haven't even met you before. And then they put iodine on your things. The first guy was like, look, I'm not going to lie to you. This isn't going to be great. But it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. And then the doctor comes in. And then he goes, hey, did you see that basketball game last night? And that's where they have you. Because that's where they've started the lie. Once the doctor starts the lie, you're like, oh, yes, doctor, I did see the basketball. Boom. And that's when they go in for the kill. Like he's tricking you, like he's distracting you. It's like, oh, I'm interested in basketball. Biggest pain I've ever felt in my entire life. Biggest pain you've ever... And fuck you, people who give birth. Oh, giving birth to children is so hard. No, fuck you, it's not. Okay? What men have to go through... Let me tell you something about mathematical ratios. It's this big. It's this big, and it's not meant to get bigger. You guys are meant to get big. You're flowers. You bloom. You fuckers are flowers. We are not fucking flowers. We're fucking sticks. You know what stick is inside? No stick. That's not where sticks are supposed to go. No one goes, hey, there's a stick. Let's put a stick inside of it. That's against nature. That's the other thing, too, is like I'm thinking to myself, man, these fuckers have to sit there and do this shit to people all fucking day long. That's their job. It's like, oh, here comes another thing. We got to stick a stick in it. And I got to explain to the stick that's not going to be fun.
Oh, dude. So, okay, you and I were both at PAX West, and I had a weird thing happen to me. So I can't tell if a guy was trying to mug me or not.
What?
Oh.
So one morning, I decided to go to the Pike's Place Market.
Yeah.
And I was walking back, and I went down like a shady street, and this dude like is crossing the street, making a beeline for me in a hoodie, and looks super disheveled. And I'm like, all right, he's probably gonna ask me for money or whatever. And he stops and was like, hey, excuse me, sir, do you have a second? I was like, hey. And he's like, I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm so sorry to bother you. This is real embarrassing, man. I'm not really from the area, you know, but I got mugged last night. And then like he pauses, and I was like, I'm so sorry. He says, yeah, it's real terrible. I need money to catch the bus, but all I gotta sell is this knife. Think you can help me? And I went, no, sorry, I only have a credit card. And I just kept walking.
Holy shit.
And then as I was walking away, I remember thinking, golly gee, that guy put some weird emphasis on some words and then pulled a knife on me. Was he trying to mug me? No, right? But I remember thinking, like, if he was trying to mug me, that's how you get, like, friend zoned, man. You just need to make make what you want very clear from the beginning.
Yeah.
Be more forward with it.
More alpha.
Yeah.
Well, that was his thing. It's like, I wasn't trying to mug him.
That's what
I was trying to sell him my knife.
That's my thinking. Is that, like, had I, like pointed this guy out to the cops, he would have been like, I never once did that. I never once was mugging him. I was asking him if he wanted to buy my knife.
So he's smart.
But it was easy, though, because I walked away with a skip in my step.
How much did Lindsay freak out about the kittens?
Oh, dude, she was mad. I find out, I'm gonna get covered in kittens, and they were like 5 weeks old. They're
those are
super
adorable
tiny
little-
Siamese.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they're Siamese cats.
Yeah, those look
And
Siamese.
their
Thank
eyes
you.
were like,
Good job.
Their eyes were like
I'm an
crystal
expert.
blue. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Oh,
Like, they're
yeah.
just
The
so
kitten
blue.
blue, yeah.
I mean, they were so new to life. They weren't even like scrambling or anything. They were just like sitting there. They just kept trying to
They're
climb
like, this
into my
is what
jacket.
living is.
Yeah,
They just
basically.
know to be scared.
They just kept climbing into my jacket
Stay
for
warm,
warmth,
yeah.
and they had to keep pulling them out of my jacket. But I'm going over to film that, and I turned to Adam Kovic. I was like, hey, can you film this? Lindsay's gonna be pissed. And he's like, what do you mean? She's gonna be mad if you don't take pictures? I go, no, she's gonna be mad because of the pictures. She's going to be angry
Covered in kittens.
for two reasons. One, she's not here and it's not her, and two, she knows I don't care. You know, like it was cool, but I'm like, oh, cool, cat.
Yeah.
So the first thing, like, I get done with it, and he gives me my phone, and Adam took, I think, 87 photos. Her first response was like, what? Damn it. You don't even care.
Yeah.
You don't care.
No,
Can you pass as Mexican?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with other people who are of Mexican descent, can you?
Yeah, and they always talk to me in Spanish, and I'm just like, I just don't know. And it's tough because, like, my father-in-law, like, he doesn't speak English. I don't speak Spanish. So our relationship is harder, especially since, I don't know if I've talked much with you about him. He's very much like a man's man, and I'm not. We were at the beach. He wanted to I don't know, just kind of do something fun, just the two of us. So he was like, come here. And we got like life jackets, and then we got a kayak, and we're going to go out in the ocean. And I'm not crazy about the ocean. Don't like things touching my feet. Don't like tide taking me. And I was like on a kayak, something that's I wasn't crazy about it, but I was like, you know what? We're just going to kind of like chill a little bit. Yeah. But we kept paddling, and we passed like the buoy. And I was like, he likes me. But
hang on.
The exact cliche when the father-in-law takes you out and could kill you, and like threaten you, and I wouldn't be able to do anything. I'm not going to swim back. I'm not going to fight waves.
Or he might just be testing you, and if you can make it back to shore, then you're worthy. You know,
I don't know if I was worthy, but it's a small kayak. He could easily just like push me out.
I had a girl,
and then I almost drowned him.
You drowned him?
I almost drowned him.
What'd you do?
Well, this was later. He was on an alligator.
Wait, hang on.
He was on a floating toy alligator.
There we go.
And it was like the whole family, and I was with Paul, and I was like, oh, you know, maybe it'd be kind of fun if like we'd like, you know, wrestle or like flip it and take the alligator, and it'll be fun.
What?
And I flipped it. And
with your father-in-law?
Yeah, like, oh, my son-in-law flipped me. Oh, you. But I don't know if he was like locked into it, and I flipped him, and he didn't disengage. He was still locked in with his legs and his arms, and was there for like 10 seconds, and I was like,
the alpha move.
Oh my God.
So the end of the story is he died by...
He's alive.
He didn't, or he saved his life by letting go.
He's, no, I flipped it back.
Really?
Yeah.
He won.
He just rotated back
He
up.
won.
And he was...
Do you think it was a power move?
Fuck yeah, it was. He can let go of the alligator anytime he wants to. Yeah.
I've never heard
So,
of that one.
anyways,
Okay.
I was working at the Macaroni Grill. Like, I was a waiter there for a while. There was two people that were sitting in the bar.
That's where the open seating is.
Right, they're just like, oh, there's, you know, you have to wait an hour for this, or you can just see if something opens up the
Or
bar.
you can just punch someone in the face and take their table.
Pretty much. So there was this couple sitting at the bar, and they were there for quite a while. And you know, I'm tending to my own table, so I am not really obviously paying attention to what's going on in the bar or anything. And it gets close to the end of the night, which means things are slowing down. There's only a couple of tables left. I'm just getting to these last tables. And this table gets up from the bar and leaves, and they go out the side door, and there's like this kind of patio that goes along the front of the restaurant and along the side of the restaurant where there's a couple extra tables, so you can like sit outside if you want. But it was winter in New England. No one was sitting outside. And they get up, they leave because they paid and everything, and they go around the side. They start making out on the side of the building, and the guy like puts the girl on top of like the cooler that's outside that we use, like if people are sitting outside, we have like water stored in there so we can like pour water for the tables and stuff. And all the waiters and the bartenders, we're just sitting there like kind of looking at it, and we're like, are they humping right now? Or when they're like, yeah, they're humping. We're like,
Those where you just can't see, like from the outside.
no,
it was okay.
blatantly obvious that we're all like, just like.
She was like making eye contact with you. Through
I
the
mean,
window.
she's into it, I guess. Someone should probably go say something. I just went, I mean, I'm not saying anything. I mean, I'm not going out there, fuck that. And like, I eventually went back to my table, and I guess the bartender went out and was like, guys, can you stop humping on our cooler? Get down. like, please get the fuck out of here.
I expected
Fuckheads.
this to be like a window next to a family of 5, and the kids were just like,
Yeah, right, like, well, thank God it was next to the bar. Like, if it was next to the actual, it's like, Jesus Christ. Have I told the story about when I got punched in the face because of a Code Blue?
Not ringing a bell.
They would run Code Blue drills all the time. Like, all right, time to practice it. You know, you have fire drills all the time, right? And so that's like a classic thing. And so we'd have Code Blue drills. And they say, everybody, it's a Code Blue, it's Code Blue. And even the teachers knew it was a drill. And they'd be like, fucking everybody under your desks, I'll turn the light off, we'll stop teaching right now. So I was in a science class one time. It was a chemistry class. And so it was this class that had like, instead of desks, it had like these big tables that had like sinks and they had the Bunsen burners on them and all that shit. So I had a buddy of mine that got under one of the tables and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck with him. Why not? Because the it wasn't like a desk.
It's only a drill.
Right, it's a drill. I knew it was a drill. I knew it was a drill. It wasn't like a desk where you can see all 4 directions. It was a table, so you can only see one direction. So I climbed up over the back of the desk. So I'm on top of the desk, and he's hiding underneath it. And so I poked my head down really quick. Hey, what's up, Lyndon? And it freaked him out so much that he just punched me right in the face while I was hanging upside down. And I just collapsed off the table onto the ground during a Code Blue.
That I did that one time when I was in high school. I was sleeping on the floor.
Sure.
Yeah, I had a bunch of friends sleeping over.
It was a code whatever.
Yeah, it was a code orange-ish.
Yeah.
All right.
And my friend, he was like fucking around and he like tripped, fell on my balls.
Ooh. Oh, what hit your balls? Like what part of
he
it?
landed his arm.
Oh, he caught himself.
He caught himself on my balls.
Mouth
and I was sleeping.
Oh.
I've never been like primitive, like caveman style. I just flipped him over and started punching his face. I was just like, bam, bam.
Poor guy. That's awesome.
And then it took like 20 seconds of punching before I was like,
Jesus.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's just a pulp at this point. Like, you know that scene in X-Men where Wolverine stabs him?
Yeah, it was that. It was that. I was like, "Arr," and then I was like, I'm so sorry.
God damn.
He finished swallowing his teeth and then.
Holy shit.
That was the only like fight I've been in.
That's amazing.
So we got I guess it was my 21st birthday. I don't remember this at all. We did a really dumb thing when we were younger. We did a really dumb thing, and we ran out on a bar bill. And it's like the next day, I would have gone back and paid it anyway. Like we literally like bolted out of there and ran and jumped in a van and drove away. But it didn't matter. I didn't have to go back and pay it anyway because my friend like literally left his wallet at our table, and so they just charged the whole tab, which was probably like $30 or $40. And then they gave themselves a 100% tip. And of course, nobody argued it. That's literally the only time in my life that I blacked out, or at least the longest amount of time. Was we went to. I've never passed out. I've never been knocked out, and I've never passed out. And I'm sure I have like gaps in my memory that are like half an hour or something. Yeah. This was a solid 12 hours. And it's crazy the way it works in my memory because we were at Baby Acapulco's where they serve margaritas. And I was 21.
They're not just margaritas. Baby A's is the Everclear margaritas.
Oh,
they don't use tequila.
They're so great.
Yeah.
It's genius.
Yeah.
It's so,
and they're
so
big.
lazy.
Yeah. They're like this big, like a little small fish bowl, like a beta fish or something like that. And there was a bunch of us at the table, like 8 of us. The guy next to me was the driver, so he's not drinking. He never drank. And so they go around, they order, and they order blue margaritas. And she's like, okay. And then the guy next to me goes, I'm not drinking. Give mine to him. She goes, I can't do that. I can't serve 2 blue margaritas to people. And he's like, okay, then I'll have 1. Then she serves them to everybody, and he just takes it and shoves it over to me. And she watches that, and she goes, okay. She goes, but I'm just going to warn you, be careful. These are creepers. And I go, creepers, what does that mean? She goes, that means they sneak up on you. I wake up the next morning. Like, literally, that's the way it works in my memory. It's just like that conversation, clear as day. She goes, and she's looking at me, and she says, it means they sneak up on you. And then I'm awake.
I get this image of you.
Did you inspect yourself when you woke up?
What?
Did you inspect yourself when you...
Well, it's just like a scene from Memento. He's like in the mirror, and like it's like, don't trust the blue.
They'll creep up on you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I asked him what's in the Purple Rita.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of knows it's Everclear, but I asked the waitress, and she was like, oh, well, no one knows. The owner makes it in the back room. It's a secret. And you just imagine there's just like a guy smoking in the back, pouring Everclear in this giant tub.
So, there was the 2 bathrooms backstage that all of us kind of tried to pile into just because of the isolated
behind
bathrooms.
Center Stage?
Yeah,
the hallway.
The hallway, yeah. So I'm coming in right after Chris, and he goes out, and I go in, and there's just fucking like half this toilet seat is covered in toilet paper, and it's just kind of like dipping into the water. And I called him back. He's like, "What the hell, man?
All right.
If you're gonna do it, at least push it into the fucking toilet when you're done."
I thought it was, all right?
Yeah.
I thought it was. I built, like it's a public. You
built yourself a seat.
Yeah, and
You
you
built
like you
yourself a
layer with toilet paper
That's
around
a nest
it.
is what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
I thought I had like pulled it into the thing. I guess it didn't catch
no,
all the way through.
No. On the day walking out, you're like, "Oh, I just thought I left it for somebody else." Nobody wants to sit on your fucking second-hand toilet paper.
As a lot of people,
You didn't just look at it and be like, okay, flush. I'll put the rest of it in the flush
Just
again.
underline the point. Now it's like someone's ass has definitely been on that.
I'm gonna out you here, Chris, because at
Oh,
RTX,
God.
Oh, man.
I had my wife with me at RTX. Kat was hanging around, and Kat at one point was like, "I need to go to the bathroom," so she went.
Oh,
and
God.
after she came out, she was like, "So Chris was in the bathroom before me, and there was like toilet paper all over the seat. Exact same
Are you
thing."
kidding me?
She said the same thing. She was like,
Also,
toilet paper all
I
over
would
the
like to
seat.
point out to you, Chris, that on the wall next to the toilet are handily pre-made toilet shaped.
I like to make my own.
I like to make
Listen, I can't be trusting those sheets.
They're so perfectly shaped
They're
for
pretty
it.
sat on.
So okay, so you sit, you put the toilet paper down, you sit on it, do your business, get up, and just leave the toilet paper there.
No, I'm not.
That's your
We
MO?
now have multiple instances. To his
kicked
credit,
the
he
faucets
did
off.
deal with the situation.
It was
when called
After
on.
called on.
Yes.
When I was a kid, when I was in driver's ed school, when I was like 16, I went to go peed, and then as class was starting, the driver's ed teacher, like in front of the entire class, called me out. Was like, "You pissed all over the seat and left it there," and I was like, "No, it wasn't me." And so he just called me out and then made me go clean it up in front of the entire driver's
That's
ed class.
brutal to do that to someone.
And that is why you spread it first.
Now it wouldn't matter if someone peed on it because I've already built up a protective layer.
Well, then you
to
leave
clean
it
up.
there. Now it's just
Wait.
soggy toilet paper.
This is just
Do you not
sitting
lift
there.
the toilet seat up when you're pissing?
No, I normally do now, because I learned from.
Then you did.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you did piss all over the toilet
Maybe
seat.
I did.
There we go.
Went from he blamed me for nothing to
I
there's
was
a good
innocent
chance it
and
was
he called me on it too. It may have been my urine.
So I'm thinking about growing out my beard forever. Here's why.
Yeah.
My wife, she left. She always leaves.
Yep.
She's gone
Yep,
everywhere.
yep.
Has no consideration for me in any capacity when it comes to the
Naturally,
razor. So she
sometimes
leaves town.
Wives are like that.
She leaves town and she takes the razor with her. And then I realized I just don't have a razor anymore. So I've not been shaving just because I haven't had a razor.
They couldn't go buy one. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have-
In my
I don't have
proximity.
one.
I don't know.
If it
What
leaves,
am I
it
gonna do?
doesn't
I'm gonna go
exist.
through all the extra work because she took the fucking razor. Yeah. And
Thank God you didn't take the deodorant.
and so
It's the only one.
we have two deodorants. And the other day I was in the getting out of the shower and she goes, "Is the beard a thing again? Is that what's going on?" And I go, "No, I just haven't shaved because you were gone out of town. You took the razor with you." And she goes, "Okay." And inside I thought, "Yes, it is, motherfucker."
Wow.
It just became a thing.
That'll
It
teach
just
you.
became a
That'll
thing
teach you,
right fucking
wife.
now, Griffin.
This is gonna work out great for you.
Until recently, I hadn't had a blackout since I was 17 at spring break, tying it all back together.
Woo!
Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Yeah.
I got blackout drunk watching the Final Four, watching the what was it, the Fab Five, fuck it up. Then apparently I got into a hit and run.
Were you the hitter or the runner?
I
or
was.
both?
He started the car, running and went and got in front of it.
Supposedly, and people should not drink and drive. Supposedly, we drove through a parking lot, hit a couple cars, drove around the other side of the parking lot, parked it to get it to escape. Then I went and tried to sleep with a 50-year-old woman who was not having it, and then I threw up and peed all over my friend's sofa.
See, what's funny is to me about that is like if you were driving around a parking lot hitting a bunch of cars, you could leave your car parked next to them and be like, "Look, I got hit too." You know, like I'm also a victim.
Some crazy person. Don't
Sorry,
mind the
you're-
pee and urine and all that. And the
You're
puke.
car number 7, but car number 2's license plate is embedded in your grill, sir.
Someone stole that car and drove it around.
movie Combat Ready, now on Kickstarter.
I had this was a while ago. I was meeting up with a girl at a bar, and I go to this bar, and I there a little early, so I sit down, and I sit. There's like sit at this bar stool, and this other girl who I sat next to. When I sat down, she just looks at me like big eyes, big eyes. I'm like, oh, is someone sitting here? And she was like, no, you can sit here. And then so I sit down, and I order a beer, and I'm waiting, and then she starts like thumping my leg like this, but she's not looking at me. So she's faced away and just like thumping my leg, and I'm like, and I look over, and there's this like old dude talking to her.
Oh,
and she was like, and I was like, oh, she wants me to like
rescue.
Yeah. So
Rescue
I was
mission.
like, I'm like, oh, hey, and I'm like, act like we know each other, you know, and we're talking, and she's like, help me, you know, just like,
Oh God.
yeah. so then he was like, so how do you guys know each other? Because he's really drunk. And I was like, we're engaged.
Wait, who said you said that?
Yeah.
Oh my God! And she looks to the other side and she's like,
"Help me!" No, I said, and he was like, "Prove it," because I walked up. I was like, "Is anyone sitting here?" He kept talking to her. She was like, she got kind of touchy
with you.
Yeah. So then she was like, she kept like put her arm around me, and then eventually she starts rubbing my cock.
What? What?
We're engaged, I promise.
It's because it was below your knee.
So then we're at this bar talking to this old dude and this girl, and she's just like and I'm like, what is going on? And she's like, we have to make it believable. I'm like,
what? That's what's making it believable?
He's gonna be looking at your cock.
So she's rubbing my cock, and this old guy's getting really mad and jealous. And then my actual date walks up.
Oh no! She's the next to you on the other side.
No, she's like, what's going on? And then I was like, this is my fiance. Because I had to.
Oh man! I like that you were that early as well. That all of this stuff took place.
Was late.
Why'd you get
The other girl was late.
Okay.
Oh my God!
And I just went home.
Bernie, what are we doing here? Why are we here?
We are talking about our favorite moments from the first 300 episodes of the Rooster Teeth Animated Adventures.
And all of these definitely happen.
Oh, every single one of these moments definitely happened. We are not just saying them on the fly and making the animators draw them. I think my favorite might be the 30-minute episode that Jordan dedicated to my racist Asian voice, which
classic.
I did one day as a joke, which is now going to follow me forever.
No, it'll be fine. I mean, look who's in the White House now. You can be as racist as you want. It's cool.
I'm running for president. Whoa! Putin hacked election. Very bad.
Oh, that's not getting in there.
No, that won't make it. I'm sure they won't animate that.
You know, another favorite of mine is when the characters all were walking down the beach, the sandy beach together, and all of them had their shoes off, and it was like really close up on their feet.
And then after we walked down the beach for a while, I looked back and I noticed there were times when there was only one set of footprints. And I asked Gus, why did you abandon me? And Jordan says, no, we were too lazy to animate feet. That's all that was. How is it possible that there's been 300 episodes of the show, we've been animated as mock women, that horrible Asian racist character that he made me play. I think I was an evil genius with a platypus.
Oh, right. Flatbush? The platypus?
Flatbush, the platypus. An old-timey announcer. And Jordan has somehow never animated himself one time in 300 episodes. It's a ripoff.
Yeah, so this episode, to commemorate 300 episodes, we're going to finally see Jordan's face.
Very specifically his face on camera.
That tight zoom in on him.
Yeah, I think the toughest part, though, is all the RTAs that we couldn't air. The ones we made but then didn't pass approvals.
Right. They tried to do that crossover slow-mo guys RTAA.
Oh, right.
Well, it was a slow-mo, it was a RTAA, but instead of being like 12 frames a second, it was at 10,000 frames a second.
Yeah, that must have been hard to animate. Everything going so slow, all the individual pieces of that thing exploding.
Yeah, just like all the particulate flying everywhere at 10,000 frames a second.
Yeah, and the cool thing was like the animators drew individual pieces of debris. They didn't like copy and paste them. They were like, oh, if you zoomed in and then zoomed in again, you could see that they were all just like totally distinct in their own way.
Yeah, you would say it's procedurally generated, but it wasn't. It was actually done by hand.
And they didn't even bill any overtime for that. They must have got it done in like 40 hours a work week. That's incredible. That's just nuts. I think one of my favorite episodes was when the dolphin took LSD and the lady gave it hand jobs.
Oh, right. Classic. I mean, it's a classic love tale.
But we didn't get to air the sequel to that, the follow-up story to that.
Oh, the super LSD?
Yeah.
When the dolphin takes acid, like, what kind of experience does it have, right? Like, does it see, like, multiple rainbows of color and, like, is the water changing color around him?
Well, it's fact that dolphins are descended from aliens that dropped them off here. So they probably see colors that we can't even envision, Gus.
Right.
They see colors between colors.
Do they see...
They see sounds.
I was going to say, do they see sound?
They see sounds.
Visually. And it was amazing how the animation team figured out how to animate sound.
They can see LSD when it's coming at them on the little piece of paper. I'm just assuming, I don't actually know. When it's coming at them, they can see that on a molecular level and how it interacts with the universe. And then that interference transfers to their brain.
Then they can communicate with the aliens back home. And the aliens are like, we thought we saw the last of these guys. And then there's like huge alien metropolis that's floating on an asteroid that's orbiting another huge city planet.
And then you go down and there's a huge like town square filled with celebration that they recontacted the dolphins. And everybody's on LSD, and everybody's giving everybody else hand jobs.
Alien hand jobs. All those alien dicks. So many alien penises. And the aliens don't just have one kind of dick. Like, every alien has a unique penis.
Oh, that's amazing. I can almost see it.
I wonder how many Google searches the animation team had to do of dolphin penis in order to find the exact, actual, like, correct way to draw a dolphin penis.
There's a room full of Secret Service agents somewhere that monitor that. Our animators come up, and they're just like, we're gonna let these go.
Yeah,
we're not gonna look further into this.
I don't want to know. Really, there's no good scenario here.
I would have thought that we had used up every idea for the RTA over 300 episodes, but I guess we had a couple left.
That was a lot of fun. I feel like we should do this every week now.
Yeah, we just need to discover another color besides blue.
Ooh, red.
That's my hope for the next 300 episodes of RTA, featuring second color.
Here's why I'm angry. I live in a part of town in Austin that is right by a road that has been under construction now for about 2 decades.
Yes.
How long has Mopac been under construction? It's nonstop. Orange and white barriers are everywhere in this town, and I just don't see them other places. I'm sure they exist, but they're everywhere in Austin. It's a constant fixture.
That's because you live in Austin. Of course you're going to make that observation.
I also spend a lot of time in Los Angeles. Never see it. I see these crews working. They go down one side of the freeway, they tear it up, and they repave it. Then they go down the other side of the freeway, they tear it up and repave it. Nothing about the freeway fucking changes.
It's like, you're like, man, I've been living my life, and there's always stuff under construction. I hope it ends soon. It will never end. Everything will always be under construction forever.
Only in Austin, though.
No, everywhere.
No,
nothing will ever be finished. That's not how the world works. No one's ever like, and we're done.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
There's a fucking door in the Austin airport. It's the door I'm talking about. The sliding doors.
Yeah.
They boxed them off 8 months ago to fix the door. It's still boxed off to this day. And no one can answer why the fuck.
8 months ago?
It's been a long time.
No.
It's been a long time.
It's been a bit. Lunatic. That door's been under construction at least 8 or 9 months. A door! It's a doorway. How many times have you ever been to an airport in anywhere else in the U.S. where one of the major entrances just doesn't exist? Like it's boxed off.
One
and
terminal.
all shitty and terrible
There's
and
only
everything.
one terminal. Of course, there's going to be a broken door.
I go to other airports a lot. I don't run into construction constantly in other airports. I run into it constantly in our office.
It's at every airport. It's
Wait,
constant.
You're also talking about Austin Airport. It's the airport you go through the most. So of course you're going to see these problems more often than
I don't
like
see
JFK.
Them. I'm saying I don't see them at all when I go there.
Because you don't go to JFK every week.
But I see it every time I go to Austin.
Because
so I should see it every time I go to
that's
JFK.
That's where you go every damn week.
Because every trip of yours starts or ends in Austin.
You can't fly anywhere without going to Austin Airport.
Every time I go through Austin, I see it.
But that's because that's what are you talking about?
Every time I go through Austin, for like the last 5 years, it's under construction.
Isn't it weird that you never see construction at Jamaica Airport?
I don't go to Jamaica Airport.
That's why
I go to JFK and I never see it. I always see it here and I never see it here.
Unbelievable.
What are you talking about? I have to go somewhere. I don't fucking do a loop around the state and land back in the same goddamn airport. I go somewhere else.
Yeah, isn't it weird that you only vacuum your floor?
You're an idiot. I land in another place. And there would be construction in the other place at least once. That's all I'm saying, and I never see it anywhere. In your analogy, I'm getting in my car and driving around my garage, and then stopping and getting out, and going, I only see my garage. Fucking idiot. Gavin or Google, Google or Gavin, which one said it? Let's find out.
I'm feeling lucky.
The first phrase was, do cats know?
Oh, great.
Do cats know when you turn off the light? Which is a great question. Because just recently, Ashley's cat Nutmeg was in the middle of like the bathroom rug, just sleeping in the middle of the night. And I walked into the dark and full on stepped on Nutmeg. She must have been like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You crushing that pussy.
Oh my God.
But cats have no idea that we can't see in the dark, right? They have no clue.
Yeah, they probably think we see like they do.
They just all of a sudden, like, we go blind for no reason to them, right? The other response I got was, do cats know why people want to squeeze them?
I think Gavin said, do cats, the squeezing one. Because Gavin likes to squeeze things, and whenever he sees a cute animal, he goes like this. Ooh. So that's
accurate.
By that.
You know, Joel does the same thing.
Joel goes, poor kitty. Poor kitty.
Yeah, he'll stand, like a cat will be walking and Joel will straddle it on either side with his legs. And then he bends down and goes, pat, pat, on either side with his hands. Like he's never, like he's read about people petting cats and he's just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And he pats on either side. And to Joe the cat, he just does this. He goes, cat, 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 cat. All right. The next phrase was, where is? The first thing that came back, where is the internet exactly? And the other one that came back is, where is the world's first poo right now?
That's absolutely Gavin. I don't even, yeah. Gavin said the poo.
Gus, you want to talk us through this?
Okay. Where is the internet exactly? Is someone wondering what country has jurisdiction to regulate the internet?
You're giving a lot of credence to Gavin and Google, buddy.
I'm going to think that one's Gavin.
And Barbara saying the poo one?
Absolutely.
Still reigning champion, Barbara Dunkelman.
The fact that the word poo was used.
Should it have been poop?
It's a very Gavin word.
Well, I mean, at some point, life was just like cells dividing and stuff. But at some point, something took a dump. Where was it? And what was it?
Do you think it
and how
still
big
exists?
was this dump? No, it doesn't still exist. It might be a fossil.
A fossil.
But it was somewhere. It's the first of everything.
Oh God.
Could I say?
Okay, so we filmed ourselves getting blackout drunk. That's the drunkest I've ever been in my life. And
We
Miles
saw.
was like my father.
I was at the office until 1 in the morning taking